Hello everyone, welcome into another video here. And this one we're going to be going through is basically, just kind of the steps in order to go ahead and have a really successful Black Friday launch for your Shopify brand. At the time of recording this, it's actually Saturday, and the weekend, or the week before essentially Black Friday, we've already launched, some brands already for Black Friday. It's been, a huge success, and we're launching, some more also on just mainly Black Friday weekend or kind of earlier in the week. But yeah, basically if you've already launched, you can make adjustments based off some helpful tips and insights in this video. Or if you're launching next Friday for the weekend, then this video will be super helpful for you, and we're going to go ahead and break each thing down. So without further ado, let's get into it. And basically a little bit about us. We run paid acquisition on numerous channels, Facebook, Pinterest, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, etc., for Shopify brands. And if that sounds like you and you want some help and some helpful tips and tricks and all that kind of good stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right down below. And we'll be dropping a lot of good helpful videos that will help take your brand to the next level and really help leveling you up. So let's get into it. So first things first, we've already launched some brands, like I was saying, and on numerous channels. You can see here for Pinterest, literally just in this month here so far, we've had a phenomenal start. And basically after launching Black Friday, it's just been incredible. So you can see here, we spent 36 grand on Pinterest for the month of November and brought back 155K in revenue just on the Pinterest channel with a 4.29x return ad spend. So phenomenal start, you can see for them. And this is basically the back end settings you can see here for this month. You can see here 36K spent and 155K for the month of November. Really solid Black Friday launch. And then we also launched them on Meta as well, which was where the bulk of the media spent went. And we did also do, Snapchat, Google, all that good stuff as well. But you can see here for Meta, it's just been a huge return and, huge amount of revenue driven. You can see here November 2022, $110,000 spent and then $524,000 brought back in revenue with a 4.75x. And this is November today. Right now, it's literally the Saturday before Black Friday. So we still have the entire week. So we honestly could end up doing probably close to around $750,000 for the month just on Meta alone. And you can see here on this next slide, basically the results. We've reached 1.6 million people in the month. So you can see here it's up till the 19th time of recording this, and driven 4,300 purchases. And then on the day that we launched, you'll see this here, basically did $154,000, and we launched on the Wednesday on November 16th, and basically spent 13,600. So incredible results, incredible launch. And I basically just want to break down kind of the keys and all that kind of stuff, and really make sure you plan it out well, and give you some recommendations on how you can basically achieve the same thing for your brand. So in terms of planning, what we basically, the run through that we did for every brand is kind of walk through this and make sure each step. So first things first was really capacity stock, like how much stock do you have available. That's kind of something to run through, to base budget around. So that's it's a big thing that we need to figure out. Duration, basically how long we're going to run it for. And you'll see here in a moment to make sure that everything lines up. We basically want to launch everything in one go. It's not like we launch Black Friday with the advertising and then, emails a couple days later, organic is a couple days later, affiliates and influencers. It's just all over the place. Everything just needs to be really in line and planned out really well. So that's something we need to figure out. Typically what we recommend is actually launching before Black Friday. And I've seen some brands, they've literally been launching like as soon as November hit, like the first week, they just start launching Black Friday. That's a little excessive. I mean, you can do it if you want. But typically what we recommend is like a week before typically helps. Or if you're not doing a week before, maybe like earlier in the week, because we actually find that results are actually even better a little bit before. So that's something that I recommend. And then basically letting it run till the 30th. So typically what we've seen for brands that we're working with, it's better, like we've kind of split tested basically doing like, setting up some campaigns for a pre-Black Friday sale and then pausing those, launching the Black Friday sale, and then basically pausing those, relaunching another set of campaigns for, Cyber Monday and all that kind of stuff. And in terms of the advertising, it's not really that effective. What we found, it's much stronger to set something up and like let it run all its whole way through, mainly because they kind of just they kind of lose their learnings, they lose all momentum and all that kind of stuff. So it's much better to kind of set up something really solid, let it run all the way through. So that's where we're seeing way more success and how we've kind of gone about it. So I'd, highly recommend that for your brand in terms of the advertising. And then on the back end with email, you can have those VIP, kind of launches early, and then, you can do a Black Friday special for your subscribers. And then, after that, do a specific Cyber Monday one. You can kind of get fancy and segment it out. But in terms of the advertising, we just find it works so much better just to set up something solid, give it a really solid budget, and kind of set it up as a lifetime budget, and then just let it run its course. So that's basically what we have for that. In terms of the offer, this is a really key one. I kind of talked about this in my last video. I kind of want to reiterate it. We just once again just found so much more success with an offer that is not only simple, but just like it's biggest of the year. Because honestly, Black Friday is really just going to be the biggest sale of the year, and it's not even close. Most revenue is going to be driven for a lot of brands on Black Friday. So if you are making your offer for it, unless you're like a premium brand, you don't really want to do any discounts. You can do some sort of free gift or free shipping or some sort of like that. I would honestly recommend like a free gift. People love free stuff and it doesn't really discount the brand, so I'd recommend for that. But in terms of like just regular brands that are kind of going ahead and doing like those kind of discount offers and site-wide sales, make it simple. I wouldn't really we've also played around with doing some kind of offer where it's like spend X amount, use code for this discount, and then spend this tier, use a code for that, and then if you spend over $100, you get it's so confusing. There's 3 or 4 different codes, and it's just a nightmare. Simplicity wins. It's just best to have like a really simple offer. The best one we've seen that's working really, really well is an up to 30% off, up to 40% off, up to 50% off. That works the best. Doesn't mean your whole site or store has to be that amount off. But it really, on the marketing, it's kind of sexy on the front end to really get a lot of traffic and get a lot of people to your site. So yeah, that's basically what we're seeing working best with the offer. Keep it simple. And then in terms of having, and then another thing we have to discuss too is having like, is there going to be a code? Is there no code? Is it just going to be, slashed off? In terms of the tier, the way I look at it, it's best to have the site, like if something's $100 slashed off and then it's like on sale for $80 as an example, site wide. So that's the best. Second is having the code, and just like kind of simple code, like very easy for them to remember and use. And then third, what I've seen is where they do the sale, but then it only takes it's automatically applied, but it only works in checkout. That one I've seen like not work as well. So you want to make sure you're either doing like it just automatically applied as soon as they see it crossed off, and then they could also visualize how much they're going to spend and all kind of stuff and see it. So that usually works best, but definitely do not do the automatically applied in checkout, because that one it just does not work as well. So you want to be careful. Content, huge, and in terms of the advertising, you definitely want a lot more ads the more you're going to spend. If your budget's a couple thousand or like 5,000 or 10,000, you don't need as many ads. But if you're going up to the biggest one we're launching is a $150,000 campaign for the 12 days, right? So for that, we're actually launching 16 ads per ad set just on like those main campaigns. So it's a lot of content. It's a lot of different ads that we're doing. But like I was saying, if you're doing like, a couple thousand or 5,000, you could probably get away with about 4 ads or so, that like just quality ones, and just kind of doing a mix of different single images, carousels, video, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely want to plan this out and make sure you have that locked in. And then budget. Typically what I recommend for this is like, kind of starting small, then really just keep raising the bar each and every time. That's kind of what we've done with a lot of the brands we work with. Start off a couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000, 20, 40. We just keep raising it on each promo and all that kind of stuff, and just keep taking them to the next level. So it's an opportunity where you can get a lot of new customers. So you really want to make sure you capitalize on it, make sure you have the appropriate budget behind you. And then another really crucial point here is making sure everything's lined up for the launch. I see this like just not planned out and executed flawlessly for a lot of smaller D2C brands. But really, what you want to make sure everything's lined up is ads across platforms all set up to launch on the exact same day, right? So that's an easy one. Up next is making sure email and SMS goes out the same day. I've had a couple brands that I've seen where they'll launch the advertising and like the email doesn't even go out the same day. It's like everything should just be launched on the same day. And that way it's just everything's just in unison and it just works flawlessly. That's really what we see work best. Organic, making sure you're letting the audience know across all your organic channels, Instagram, TikTok. Those are kind of the main two, honestly, that we're kind of see. Some do have YouTube, but that's kind of a rarity. I'd say Instagram and TikTok is kind of the main two. Facebook has just kind of completely obliterated the organic reach. So yeah, definitely letting them know on the exact same day. So it's all just everything all in one go. And then also banner on top of the site. This is really crucial because a lot of the advertising, the traffic will get sent to collection pages rather than the homepage. A lot of brands will just adjust the homepage, but you want to have it on the banner. You want to have it like crystal clear. Black Friday sale, it's going on. Here's the offer. Here's the code if there is one, like right on top of the site, and it's just super crystal clear. And that way, it's like painstakingly obvious that there's a sale going on and you can't miss it. And then if you're working with influencers and affiliates, make sure they all shout out the exact same day. So that way, with all this set up, it's just everything is just all in one go, and that's how you have a really successful launch. Everything's like organized, is planned out, and then everything's launched on the same day at the same time. You definitely don't want to be kind of messing about and not having everything organized and planned out. Like, just know exactly what you're doing and launch it all in one go. Is what I recommend. And lastly, kind of finish up with some recommendations. One, really just have like a simple and simple yet make sure it's like your best offer up for the year. It's just simplicity is so key. Keep it simple. A free gift over X amount, or over X amount in terms of orders, or if you want to go with something more like basically site-wide sale, doing the discount up to a certain period, that works really well too. But keep it simple. Don't do these kind of tiered options and all that kind of stuff. I would just keep it really simple, really straightforward, and that's what we see works best, and that's how we got kind of the results that we did. So just keep it really simple. Launch everything in unison, email, SMS, all the advertising, organic, influencer marketing, all that sort of stuff. Launch it all in one go. Keep it all in unison, and you'll see a lot of success. Make sure you launch advertising on multiple platforms as well too. I see a lot of brands just relying on only Meta, whereas Snapchat, Pinterest, Google, all are really, really good platforms as well too. So I'd highly recommend to try out multiple platforms and make sure that's all good. And then lastly, really push yourself and go bigger than you think you can, and really push yourself, especially with the advertising. Obviously, email and all that kind of stuff. It's not like you're putting a budget behind it, but with the advertising, I'd highly recommend to just push yourself. Go bigger and bigger, collect a lot of customers, and figure out how to improve and all kind of stuff, because it's going to pay off down the line when you pick up a lot of new people. It just makes your brand just unstoppable down the line if you're able to, especially if you're able to, really raise the LTV and really have amazing customer experience for all these new customers. Then you can keep a really good chunk of them and have them be really loyal. So it's a time that's it's a crazy time. It's it's a stressful time, but it's really crucial to really nail down and make sure you nail. But I think if you follow all these steps and go through all this, you'll do absolutely fine. And honestly, just keep things simple, go big, and make sure you execute as best you can. It's a big week, so best of luck to everyone. Drop any questions or comments or anything like that in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to them when I can. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.